Hey y'all, let's talk about rage. Rage is something we are seeing more and more of in the preschool age as the gentle parenting strategy is getting implemented across society more and more. Preschool rage is really nothing more than a tantrum on steroids. The main reason it is happening is because, as I've said in other videos, if it works, it happens again. It is working. It's working for them. It's true that children in that age have a difficult time regulating their emotions. And I know there are internet parenting people out there that say things like, quote, kids are born with all of the feels, the big emotions, and none of the skills that help them deal with the big emotions. And there is certainly some truth to that. But it is also true that kids are selfish and want things their way, and they get upset when they don't get their way. At some point along the way, they realize that if they get upset enough, the parents will give in and back off. They know the parents get scared. The rage intimidates them, and the child figures this out pretty quickly. So you get more rage. The solution is to, number one, if the upset is legitimately something that would be upsetting to any child, then you certainly need to acknowledge the situation and tell your child that you hate that that happened and that you're in it with them. But then, number two, absolutely do not give in to the rage. That's what fuels it. Number three, completely ignore the rage and the crying. Get up and go find something else to do. Even fake that you were doing something, just to send the message that their screaming is not going to get any attention from you. No sweet words, no eye contact, nothing. Number four, if the child is following you around and making everybody miserable, then time in his room would be the appropriate next step. Number five, if he proceeds to break things and be destructive, he needs more memorable punishment than just being in his room. That behavior is absolutely unacceptable and should never be tolerated. After the memorable punishment, he needs to be held accountable for his actions and should not be allowed out of his room until he can reasonably get the mess that he made cleaned up. Natural consequences are always appropriate. From the parent perspective, the parent absolutely must stay totally calm to diffuse this situation. Unfortunately, rage is oftentimes a learned behavior from one or both of the parents. This is totally unacceptable as well, and you must not do that. This is one of the most frequent reactions from parents, unfortunately. I've been surprised over the years that some of the most mild-mannered parents in the office easily get tipped over into rage over their kids' behavior. They meet fire with fire, meeting rage with rage. That never works. And it sets an awful model for what your child sees as normal for adult behavior. If this describes you, I cannot recommend highly enough that you deal with it, even if it takes seeing a counselor or a therapist to get a handle on it. If you are trying to scare your child into submission, it is going to backfire on you in the long run. If the rage is directed at you for a decision you made that he doesn't like, I would skip the ignoring step and go straight to significant punishment, since that is an act of outright disrespect and defiance and cannot be tolerated. And trying to ignore it guarantees that you will get more of it in the future. Now, let me back up just a little bit and say that rage can certainly be a crying out by your child for deeper connection and exasperation with the state of their relationship with their parent. In this case, the child has no idea why he's so upset. They just know something isn't right and they want more. You, as a parent, absolutely have to be continuously working on deepening your emotional connection with your children. The problem with tantrums and rage is that it frequently pushes the parent away and the depth of the relationship gets shallower and shallower. So one of the solutions, in addition to the things I've already said, is to really seriously work at deepening your relationship with your child. That involves spending lots of time with them one-on-one and making sure that they feel emotionally connected and safe with you. This can be really tough if the child has really gone down the angry and disconnected path and your relationship has eroded. But don't give up. Kindness, calm, consistency will eventually win them back over to trusting your love and care. If this describes you and your child, you absolutely need to deal with this before doing anything else to try and change the behavior. So, that is my take on rage in young children. This post is assuming that there is some semblance of normal family life in your home. If there is abuse issues or chemical dependency issues, those have a massive role to play. And those need to be dealt with first before you do any of the stuff I mentioned in this video. Those go hand in hand with emotional disconnection. So, thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, feel free to like and subscribe.